A new report from Canada's Competition Bureau is calling for major reforms to bring airfares down and open the doors to new competitors. This includes allowing foreign-owned airlines to fly domestic routes. And joining me now with reaction is the president of the Air Passenger Rights, Gabor Lukacs. Gabor, good to speak with you.
Good to be with you.
First, I just want to get your reaction to this report overall. Are you in support?
We support many of the findings, especially about foreign ownership and curtailing the minister's power to unilaterally override anti-competitive agreement prohibitions.
There are some concerns being raised about foreign carriers neglecting smaller regional routes. Is this a concern you share, and how do you think that can be addressed and, still opening the market and making it more competitive?
Those concerns are typically raised by the existing beneficiaries of Canada's protectionism, WestJet and Air Canada. The status quo has been that in exchange for this protectionism, the airlines were informally expected to serve some remote communities. That's not the way to run a modern capitalist country. If there are some remote communities that need air service, that is something that we as a society believe in it, then we have to pay the price for it, perhaps subsidize those routes if needed. That was one of the findings actually in the report, that this type of gentleman's agreement has to be abolished, and it has to be displaced by clear, transparent financial agreements where taxpayers know what they are paying for, how much they are paying for, and there is a clear service that has to be delivered against it.
When you take a look at the report and its recommendations, I'm curious how you see these changes resulting in stronger protections for consumers.
First of all, having more competition is vital to lower airfares. The reason that airfares are so high is because WestJet and Air Canada are enjoying a quasi-duopoly across Canada in some of the lucrative routes. If we had more competition, they would have to lower fares. That's what the report actually found, that each additional airline statistically, on average, lowers the airfare by 9%. In terms of consumer protection, the concerns that we have had is that currently the Minister of Transport or the government can approve some acquisitions or some agreements that lessen competition, even if the Competition Bureau believes that it should not be approved. By changing the law, which is what is being proposed, the Minister and the Competition Bureau would have to concur before such agreements could be approved.
This report also highlights the fact that, Canada allows for a Userpay model for aviation, something that we all know accounts for high ticket prices. What would you like to see on this front? Do you think the report addresses it?
In my view, there is lots of populism happening around this Userpay model, and unfortunately, some airline CEOs have engaged recently in a kind of irresponsible promises and pie-in-the-sky type of publicity stunt. The reality is that there is no free lunch. Either the users pay for it directly when they buy the tickets, or taxpayers pay for the same service from public purse. If someone wants to change the Userpay regime in Canada, they first and foremost have to tell lawmakers and the public where that money is going to come from, which area of important issues we are going to take away money to subsidize, to fund air travel. When you look at the US, which is something that often some airline executives like to raise as an example where they don't follow this model, just look at what is the state of the airports and the state of air traffic control in the US. It's terrible. So at the end of the day, somebody has to pay for these. And the ultimate question is there an actual calculable economic benefit in terms of tax revenues for these subsidies for investing money, and perhaps not requiring the airlines and passengers pay for the full expense of operating air travel system? That calculation has not been done. We have heard a lot of cheap business talk about it's obvious that ... but that is not how you actually engage in economic planning. What I would agree with is only that the manner in which airports are being funded and governed should be studied further. That is a responsible political and economic approach, but it requires data, it requires facts before one can actually conclude what is the right path forward.
Well, Gabor, we thank you for sharing your thoughts on all of this tonight. It was great speaking with you.
Thank you very much for having me.